If you've ever wondered what the most successful people in the world use to keep them motivated, to keep them getting through the tough times, and to keep them ultimately stepping one step closer towards hitting their goals, stick around and watch today's video through until the very end, as I'm going to share with you the one thing you can use to constantly keep yourself in, once again, an optimal state of productivity, moving forward closer towards your goals, and at the end of the day, much more successful. As always, if you get value, don't forget to give me some comments, likes, hearts, and shares. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that bell icon notification button, and let me know what your biggest takeaway was in the comments section below. I love reading each and every single comment. I try to reply to every single one as well. And with that said, let's go ahead and dive right in. Welcome to the Misha Wilson Show, where we show you how to create massive success online so you can enjoy the lifestyle of your wildest dreams. So today I want to talk about the number one thing that'll keep you going when times get tough, and talk about the difference between motivation and inspiration. And this is actually kind of based on a question that I got from my last video that I posted a couple of days ago, or maybe it was yesterday, where essentially I talked about the fact that, it never pays not to do anything. And that essentially that if you want to get to the good stuff, if you want to get to the good finished product, if you want to go ahead and get to your end goal, if you want to get to that big result, or really if you just want to do anything well, before you do that thing well, you have to be okay with doing that thing poorly. You have to be okay with having the first rough draft. You have to be okay with, having it done and not be perfect so that you can then optimize, tweak, and essentially move forward and get it, better for the future so that you end up with that final end draft as, once again, the thing that ends up driving results for your business. So I did that video a few days ago and a bunch of people loved it, a bunch of people commented, shared, etc. But one person went ahead and asked the question of, look, if you're in this game of entrepreneurship, and this isn't the exact wording, but it was essentially this question, if you're in this game of entrepreneurship and you're literally constantly, doing stuff that always fails at first, and you're always taking on new projects, and you're always essentially failing in those new projects before you succeed, you're kind of sort of always failing all of the time so that you can eventually succeed. But then right when you succeed with one thing, you end up failing with the next thing before you end up succeeding with it. So it seems like you're doing a lot of failing. And what's the thing that keeps you going through that time, right? And it's a great question. The truth is that it is totally true. If you want the easy path where there's no failure, get a job, do what someone tells you to do, work the 9 to 5 and be happy with it. But if you want the rewards of running your own business, if you want to be the person in charge, if you want to, create something that adds value to the world, you have to understand that there is going to be a ton of failure. And so I want to touch on what to go ahead and focus on, the thing that will allow you to go ahead and get through that. And really simply, it comes down to one simple word, and that is inspiration. All right. Most successful people in the world, in the online environment, and then of course in, traditional business, Elon Musk, the most successful entrepreneurs in the world, all have a clear vision of what they're going after. They all have a clear end result of, the impact they want to have, the impact they want to create, the change they want to create, and the vision that they want to go ahead and turn into a reality. And that inspiration draws them closer towards going ahead and accomplishing that vision, that inspiration to create change, that inspiration to, essentially turn the thing that they have now into the thing that they want it to be. The vision of what they want it to be keeps them going through the tough time and keeps them, once again, persisting when times get tough. And most people confuse inspiration with motivation. And this is something that I see with a lot of our clients, unfortunately, especially in our industry. And essentially, they'll wake up and they'll, look at different YouTube videos and they'll get fired up listening to whoever they might be listening to, right? Tony Robbins, the latest and greatest inspirational video, whatever it might be, motivational video, going to the event, going to the live event. We have an awesome virtual live event, which you should attend. But essentially, they'll always focus on tapping into external sources of motivation in order to go ahead and get themselves to do the tough thing to move forward towards their goals. Yet, unfortunately, they never tap into the true source of, not motivation, but the true source of, essentially inspiration towards going ahead and accomplishing their vision, which is inspiration. The distinction, the difference between the two is the fact that motivation, A, is external, and B, it is fleeting. So if you look at motivation, look, there's a reason why with network marketing companies, every single 4-month period, they have a live event, right? Or usually a 3-month period. So they have 4 live events per year, once every 3 months. And it's because the sole goal of that live event is to motivate, is to fire people up, is to get people, fired up to do the home parties, to recruit their friends, to recruit their family, to go out and do all the different things you need to do in network marketing. There's a ton of social proof, there's a ton of stories, there's a ton of testimony. It's kind of like going to church for a weekend, with these big income claims, and everyone leaves completely and totally motivated to hit their goals. But then invariably what happens is after a month, that motivation is worn off just a little bit. After 2 months, that motivation is worn off even more to that next live event in order to keep that level of motivation and to keep that level of action going ahead and persisting. Where inspiration, on the flip side, is instead of being an external thing that's driving you, and usually motivation also is driving you away from a pain. While inspiration is drawing you towards an end goal that you have. Again, inspiration is internal and motivation is external. And so when you get clear on the vision that you have for your company, clear on the vision that you have for your life, clear on the vision that you have for your business, clear on the vision, the impact, the, difference that you want to make in the world, and you're clear on A, what that looks like, and B, why you're doing it, and C, the game plan that you actually need in order to turn that thing into a reality very, very, very quickly. Instead of needing to tap into the videos, instead of needing to tap into the events, instead of needing to constantly remind yourself with motivational videos and with, clips from any given Sunday, right? Instead of needing all of those external motivators, you're internally inspired to move towards your goal, to turn your vision into reality, to create the change and the impact that you want to create. And as a result, guess what? Moving through the suck, as I mentioned yesterday, moving through those periods where just nothing's working, moving through all the different trial periods where, you're constantly doing new stuff and you're constantly failing at it first, and you're constantly kind of failing all the time in all the different areas so that you can end up having success. That just becomes part of the process that leads you towards that end goal and towards that vision. And so what I would highly recommend is, look, if you aren't clear on what your end goal is, if you aren't clear on what your vision is, if you're just saying, God, I want to, be able to pay my bills, that's not a compelling vision. If you're just saying, God, I don't want to stress about money, that's not a compelling vision. Get clear on what your vision actually is. Get clear on what you want your life to look like. Get clear on, who you want to impact and who you want to help and who you want to serve and the change that you want to create in the marketplace that you're in. Get clear on all of those things. And as corny as it sounds, this is where vision boards can actually come in and help in its own certain way. I'm not a full believer of vision boards, but I do think they help in their own unique way. Get clear on what that looks like. And then once you're clear on what that looks like, get clear on the steps and the path that you need to go ahead and take in order to go ahead and get into that vision and turn that vision into a reality. And you'll find that waking up, executing, taking action, and doing it consistently becomes something that instead of feeling like you need to be motivated in order to do, it almost feels unnatural not to do it. And you start to feel uncomfortable when you're not moving forward towards that goal and towards that vision, because again, now you're in alignment with where you want to go. And the natural thing when your subconscious wants to go somewhere is very simply to take the action steps to go ahead and get there. So I hope you got some value. If you did, as always, if you're watching on Facebook, give me some comments, likes, hearts, and shares. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to let me know what your biggest takeaway was in the comments section below. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell icon notification button. And as always, I hope you got a ton of value. Till next time, over and out.